This is your drive time traffic update on Canton's Morning News.
All right, as we are checking our traffic situation on this Tuesday morning, right now, still seeing a little bit of an issue along 62 westbound at Market. So just be careful if you're traveling in that direction. Give yourself a little bit of extra time, and we'll let you know if anything else changes. 330-450-1480.
Canton's severe weather station. Stick with us. Now, the 1480 WHBC AccuWeather forecast.
And traffic and weather brought to you by Crown Heating and Cooling, family owned and operated, serving the residential and commercial heating and cooling needs since 1960. We will see cloudy conditions today. It'll be chilly, a high of 32, overcast tonight, low 25. And then tomorrow we'll see maybe a little bit of snow in the afternoon and a high of 38. Right now, 22 degrees on your severe weather station, 1480 WHBC. Well, every Tuesday morning at this time, we like to check in with the city of Canton and find out what's going on. And there's no one more important than the fire department and the chief of the fire department. Akbar Bennett is in studio with us this morning. How are you, sir?
Good morning. I'm amazing. How are you?
Doing great. Glad to have you in again. So let's start by just giving a kind of a quick look back at 2024. Some of the things that were challenges maybe, and some of the things that you felt real good about.
2024 was definitely a challenging year, just like any other year, but also very rewarding. One of the things that I try to tell people is for us as a department, we want to continue to of course, keep the city safe, but also try to find new ways to grow our ranks so that we can be a tool to be able to save lives. And so one of the initiatives I started last year was something called Operation Heartbeat, kind of start small, where we want to start to initially teach as many people as we can proper CPR and also the use of an AED. So we started that initiative, and in 2025, we want to keep that going.
That's awesome.
Yes.
And that is a great thing because that can just save lives all over the place, right?
Yes, absolutely. And that's one of the keys.
Yeah. And as we look towards 2025, I know you have a lot of goals, that being one of them, to keep that rolling. But
yes.
Let's talk a little bit about some of the other things.
So one of the goals that we want to initiate in 2025, we've got a lot of work projects on a lot of our fire stations. So, and as you guys know, our men and women stay in the fire station for 24 hours. So the mayor has been very helpful and very supportive in us renovating multiple stations. We are in the process of finishing up Station 8, which is on Navarre and Duber. And so once that station is done, we will start renovating the fire station on Mahoning Road, which is Station 7. Once we get done with that one, we're going to work on Station 5, the one that's out by Raft Road off of Tusk. And then eventually we want to work on Station 6, which is on Harmon, or eventually, fingers crossed, maybe we can build a new station.
That would be
good.
But
those are goals.
Mm-hmm. Well,
yes.
You have to have them before you can reach them, right?
Absolutely.
And, for firefighters, and they spend 24 hours, I mean, it's been a long time since these stations have been worked on, hasn't it?
Absolutely. And I got to give credit to the last administration, too, Mayor Burnaby. He did start the ball rolling, and got to give credit to the current mayor, Bill Scheer, who's continued that momentum moving forward. Because I tell people, they're there for 24 hours, and they are such amazing people, selfless, who sacrifice every day to keep us safe. So the least we can do is make sure that they have a proper accommodation and a nice place to be able to cohabitate for 24 hours.
Yeah, that's great. So what about training and things like that? Are there new things when it comes to
Absolutely.
training?
I have multiple training goals. One of the things that I try to tell people is when you look at the national news, a lot of times the national news can also reflect local news. One of the things that people probably don't know in the city of Canton is we have so many trains that go through the city every day that carry hazardous materials. So I'm sure you guys heard about what happened in East Palestine, that unfortunate event. And so one of my goals this year in 2025 is to work on a training, not only with the city of Canton, but also regional departments. So heaven forbid we do have a national disaster, a train derailment, whether it's on the highway or whether it's actually on one of the railroads, that we are able to mitigate that as quickly as possible, because we're going to have multiple agencies coming in. So I always have to deal in the what if.
Yeah.
You know, because at the end of the day, when something bad does happen, we need to be prepared for that. I mean, even I want to shout out Chief Gabbard, police chief. We do a lot of trainings, and we're going to be doing a lot more trainings with the police in 2025, hopefully, because we want to also work on like active shooter. Unfortunately, if a tragedy happens in one of the schools, we want to make sure that we can get there as quickly as possible in concert with the Canton Police Department to be able to make sure we can save as many lives as possible. And so we do the regular stuff at its highest level possible, fighting fires and treating patients as paramedics. We do that at the highest level. One of the difficult things is training for and preparing for things that don't happen very often or maybe once in a lifetime. And so whether, like I said, a disaster, it could be a weapons of mass destruction, active shooter, we want to be prepared for the things that might happen once in a blue moon and be locked in to be able to make sure we can save as many lives as possible.
Yeah, you don't want to look back and say we should have done this, you know, kind of thing.
That's correct. Yeah. Absolutely.
And when I talked to the chief, the police chief, you know, I was asking him about, you know, how many officers he has on duty. I'll ask you the same thing. You know, what is your staffing at the fire department like?
Well, I'm glad that you asked. So right now we have 155 firefighters, and currently, just a little tidbit, I will be eventually asking to increase our ranks. Back in the day, our authorized strength was 205. And the crazy part is we weren't as busy back then as we are now. So one of my goals is to increase our numbers so that we can be able to affect more positive safety measures in the future. Because people don't understand, we respond to everything. Car accidents, heart attacks, of course, fires, you name it, they're going to call us. We're like a Swiss Army knife. And our men and women are really working overtime, not only physically, but mentally. And so I would love to increase our numbers so that we can reduce the mental aspect and also the physical aspect of our men and women. So one of my goals is to go to the mayor, go to city council and say, hey, I would like to increase our numbers and make the case.
Yeah. And I think that's another very important thing. Anything else you wanted to mention?
Yeah, just on a side note, a lot of people don't know this, but JT knows this. I am a huge Philadelphia Eagles fan. So I was so happy that my Eagles were able to pull it off and win a Super Bowl. Stop all that three-peat crap. No, we're not doing that. This is the Hall of Fame city, and I'm looking forward to a lot of those memories that you saw on Super Bowl Sunday, wearing a gold jacket. And one last thing real quick. So Thursday, I'm going to Governor DeWine's mansion for a Black History Month luncheon event, which I think is awesome. So I just want to thank him for the invite. It's very gracious. And then also afterwards, there's some event at a museum for Tuskegee Airmen event. So I'll be going to that. They open up a new exhibit. So I'm excited about that.
That's great. Well, congratulations on all of that. That's wonderful.
Thank you.
And we appreciate you coming by. And gosh, maybe the next time I'll see you will be like Kid Fest in March.
We will be there, and we always want to make sure that we support WHBC in the events that you guys do, because you guys do a great job of reaching out to the community, and also doing the most important thing is making sure that we take care of the kids and give them hope and give them a connection and let them know that, hey, you know, we care about you, we're here for you, and I appreciate what you guys do.
Thank you, and it's always a fun day. We always have a great time. So.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you, Chief. We appreciate you coming down today.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Canton's Morning News with Pam Cook.
If you missed one of our guests, get the podcast now or anytime.